All right guys, today we're gonna try and get this old two-stroke jet ski to run again, maybe spruce it up a bit, and hopefully convince you that you should also buy an old two-stroke jet ski because they're just the best. So here's what we're working with today. It's a 1990 Seadoo SP. It's got a tiny two-cylinder engine. It's 587 cubic centimeters, which is like 36 cubic inches. So it's less displacement than like one cylinder on a small block Chevy 350. But that's all you needed to go around the lake back in 1990. And that's all you need today, really. We bought this for the channel a while back, got it to run, and it only ran for probably 15 minutes out on the lake. My friend Cody took it around. He boldly proclaimed that it's the best jet ski that we've got in the group.
This thing's too fun.
Is it good?
It's good.
Like, is it stumbly or anything? Or?
No, this is the best jet ski we have.
It's the best jet ski we've got?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Somebody get on this and experience it. It is amazing.
Well, right after that, my friends Nate and Kelly tried to go ride it, and it just started sputtering, getting worse, and then it wouldn't start at all.
I'm gonna be the one that breaks it.
What happened?
I don't know, it just stopped.
The key didn't fall off?
No.
It just died?
Yeah, and the throttle was like still going. Like, I was like, oh.
It's two-stroke things. Something's wrong with it. We're gonna figure that out. It's also leaking two-stroke oil from somewhere on the engine into the hull, which is no bueno. We gotta fix that. And then I'm gonna try and spruce it up a little bit. I've been learning to sew, and I bought me an industrial sewing machine that can do vinyl. I'm gonna try and recover the seat and redo the steering vinyl here, so we're gonna see how that works out. So for troubleshooting this thing, I wanna do some easy stuff first. So a compression test is a biggie on these old two-stroke jet skis, because a new engine will be like 150 PSI, and if you're in the 130s, you've still got some life left in the engine. When these get down to like 120, 110, the engine will run out of the water, you get it in the water, not enough compression to make the thing run worth a flip. So let's see what we get out of this old thing. Plus, we get a combo deal out of this test. We gotta yank the spark plugs out, and so we'll check the spark at the same time. First, let's see how the plugs look. You know, they look like two-stroke plugs to me. There's always gonna be some oil on them, but they don't look too bad. So I'm gonna ground both our spark plugs out here using some jumper cables so I don't have to mess with them. So we'll see if those spark right there. Okay. Will it turn over? Did our starter die while it sat? Oh, I got smoke coming up from the starter area. That's not good. Come on. So the starter shot, I just ordered one online. They're about 50 bucks. That's totally unrelated to why this thing wouldn't run a few months ago, but I guess it just broke while this thing was sitting. So I am gonna have to rip the engine out though. I don't know if y'all can see down in here, the oil that is leaking out of the engine somewhere, the two-stroke oil. It's not good because jet skis all have these suction bailers. So the suction from the jet pump pulls water out of the hull. And that means if we go riding this thing around, you know, it's gonna pull water and this oil out and put it into the lake. And I don't really wanna pollute the lake, so engine's gonna have to come out, which kind of sucks. I wasn't planning on that, but that's how it goes. All right, well, the engine is out. One good thing about the old two-strokes, engine is small. It's pretty simple. We've got, what, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wires. You've got to disconnect a couple hoses, and engine comes out in probably 30 minutes, maybe an hour if you're taking your time. So for the oil leak, the bottom of the engine is pretty clean, but there is some oil around the oil pump. And then there's a fitting at the bottom of the engine that's got some oil dripping from it. So maybe if we tighten all of that up, we'll stop that oil leak. I'm gonna get this over onto the bench. We're gonna get the carburetor off, rebuild it. This is a Mikuni carburetor. They put these kind of carbs on everything. Snowmobiles, jet skis, dirt bikes, you name it over the years. So this is a pretty standard affair here. We'll get this torn apart because this might have been why it started stumbling on us. So I think I figured out why the starter stopped working. It looks like water got into it at some point. It's really rusty in there, and it's a permanent magnet motor. But one of the magnets has left the chat and it's stuck to the rotor here. So this is not rebuildable for me at least. So we're gonna have to wait on our replacement to show up. All right, while we're waiting around for parts to show up, how about a quick channel update? Well, we had some 80-mile-an-hour winds come through during a storm, and the houseboat was not meant to do 80 miles an hour, so the top flybridge flew off, landed on the jet boat, skidded across, and landed here, which is unfortunate. So now I've got to figure out a way to get it back up there, and haven't really figured that out yet. The junkyard jet boat, we've got to get it out this summer. I've spent some time patching holes on the hull. We got the engine running in the shop for about 15, 20 minutes. The brand new fuel pump, Walbro fuel pump, already bit the dust. So I've got to tear that new fuel tank back apart, get a new one of those, but this thing's got to come out this summer. The yellow budget boat that broke down at the end of last summer, we had to get towed in it. Got to get it running, so that's on the to-do list for the next couple weeks. The Geo Tracker, it's over there. People seem to like it pretty good. It's under the car cover now, so we're gonna get that back out, have some fun with it pretty soon. Let's check in on the comments real quick and see how you guys are doing. Here's one. Not to sound old, but you really need to rethink your priorities. Your yard is a wreck. You have projects and pieces all over, and it's all just crap. What? You can tell by how you leave everything outside, you don't have the money to really manage everything correctly. I would sell all that crap and save your money. You're going to need it later in life, I guarantee it.
You ever see me walking down the side of the road? Would you ever stop and wonder why? Would you think it's lost that I paid the cost? Stop and give a poor boy a ride. Forget my past.
New starter showed up. Looks a lot better than the old one, I'd say. So let's get this slapped in here and do our compression test. All right, positive, ground. Let's do a quick test. Here we go. Oh yeah. Cool. I've got my dad's old compression tester still holding up after all these years. What do you guys think we're gonna get? Like I was saying earlier, 150 would be a new engine. 135, engine's still good. 120, engine's pretty much shot. Here we go. Oh no! Oh no. Below 120. It's not good. That's not good. All right, this is the flywheel side cylinder. Let's try this one. Here we go. Okay, so that one, 20, 30, 40, 140. Okay, that's good. 140 is good on that one. So I'm gonna spray, not a thick oil, but like some WD-40 down in the cylinders, just to give it a little extra help, you know? Back to the PTO side cylinder with some WD-40. Let's see what we get. Here we go. Oh yeah, up to 150. We got smoke coming out. That's a good sign. It's like a diesel, because there's no spark plug hooked up, so it's smoking just from some good compression, trying to light that WD-40 off. I was worried there for a minute, but cylinders were probably just bone dry from it sitting for a few months. So 140 PSI out of both cylinders, that's good. This engine will be good for a few more years. So the reason it won't run, now we're just down to spark or fuel. We can figure that out. Here's the valve. It's just a piece of metal that spins. And as it spins, it uncovers and covers the port into the crankcase. That's it. Call it the rotary valve. So I tore the oil pump apart, and I think our oil leak, there's only a few places it can come from. It's either this fitting down here or one of a few O-rings that make up the oil pump assembly. And these O-rings are pretty much shot. It looks like they're probably the original ones from 1989, 1990. They're a little crunchy. So I think what we'll do, I tried to look for these O-rings online, and I can't find them right now, so we're just gonna make our own. What could go wrong? It's not as crazy as it sounds. I've done it a few times. You get you a O-ring kit online. There's millions of them, and it'll just come with different sizes of O-ring material, and you cut it to whatever size O-ring you need, glue it together, and you got an O-ring. I've got to retime the engine since I took the rotary valve off, and it's going to be some kind of similar procedure, whether it's a Seadoo or Yamaha, Kawasaki. You're probably always going to find top dead center, so we got to get piston number 1 to the very top. So I've got a dial indicator in here. There's top dead center. And then Rotax makes it easy. They put this little notch right here, and all you got to do is line this valve up with that notch, and it's retimed. So let's see. Yeah. Just like that. There we go. All right, boys, we're doing pretty good so far. So we've got the oil pump assembly back on with that new Tygon tubing. So hopefully that stops the two-stroke oil leaking into the hull. And we've got a new starter on the other side, so that should be good. Now we're gonna get on to what I think is probably the main reason it stopped running right, and that is the old carburetor. So I'm gonna get the tools out we need to take this thing apart. We'll get it blown apart on the table there and see what it looks like inside. I've got a little rebuild kit for it. They're like 15 bucks on Amazon, so no big deal.
Drinking a German beer with a Cuban cigar in the middle of Paris with a Dominican bar. Great head on her shoulder, she probably studied abroad. She transferred to Harvard from King's College in March. She says that I'm her favorite because she admires the art. Michelangelo with the flow.
Well, we should have started with this, and I should have known because I bought my first old two-stroke jet ski in 2007. So for 18 years I've been messing with these old things. And I joined a message board for jet skis back then to try and learn about them. And there was a guy that replied on there to people, and I'll never forget this one reply. I can still recite it 18 years later. I'm gonna tell it to you now, it might help you out. Are you bored on a Friday night? Rebuild your carburetors. Is it gonna rain all weekend and you can't go out on the lake? Rebuild your carburetors. Did your girlfriend dump you and you're lonely? Rebuild your carburetors. And he was basically saying that 99% of the time, when these old two-strokes start to run bad, it's probably your carburetor. And sure enough, the amount of crap falling out of ours is crazy. So there's 2 fuel filters in the fuel system, and both of these filters are full of what looks like beach sand. It looks like someone got mad and took a cup of beach sand and just dumped it in the gas tank to sabotage this thing. But that's not what it is. I went looking, I just found the problem. I'm gonna show you. So all that to say, I spent many a day rebuilding carburetors for our old jet skis, and I should have known. So let me show you guys the problem. I'm gonna pull this out. Come on. All right. Here's the problem right here. Okay. All the fuel line in this thing, it's US Coast Guard approved, of course, so it's got the rating on here. Here's the key though, 1989. That's how old this is. I think 1989 is a Taylor Swift album. I don't know why that's in my head. It's either an album or a song, but that makes this, what, 36 years old? It's just disintegrating. And so I'm gonna go get like 20 feet of fuel line and replace all of it in here.
Smile and pack your bags real good, baby, cause you'll be gone for a while. Wow, wow. Love, tell me how you feel. What's your fantasy? I see it's on the beach down in Mexico. You can put your feet up, be my senorita. We ain't gotta rush, just take it slow. You'll be in the highlights.
We're going with candy grape metallic. What do y'all think? See what that looks like.
Up the sunlight, anything you want, it's yours. I have you living life like you should. You say you never had it so good. You never had it so good.
Well, I finally ordered us a good industrial sewing machine because I'm going to attempt to learn upholstery work. We've got a lot of projects around here that need upholstery work, and I figure if you know how to weld, maybe you can learn how to sew. So I'm going to give it a shot. We're going to try to replicate the handlebar cover for the pink Punisher here. I'm going to switch it to pink vinyl, so I don't know, let's give it a shot. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll see what the end result looks like here in a minute. All right, here's the abomination that I've come up with after sewing all day. The handlebar cover fits, but it's pretty rough. I put all these straps on here so that it would kind of cinch up. Okay, and then down the side, I've got zippers to pull things together. Oh, come on. There we go. So there we go. It's kind of one of those things like the homemade paint job on a car, you know, where from 20 feet away you're like, oh, that looks good. And then you get up close and start looking at it. And you're like, what in the world did he do there? What is this stitching? What is this crap over here? This looks like ass. You know, why are the stitches pulling out here? You know, why is it so wrinkly under here? Why isn't this thing pulled tight? You know, but it's good enough for who it's for. I'm gonna attempt to do the seat next. So I pulled the old purple vinyl off. We're gonna try and spruce it up a bit. So I've got some plastic piping and white vinyl, and we're gonna try to make a fancy seam like this around the perimeter of the seat. And the only reason is to practice more on the sewing machine. The only way we're gonna learn anything is doing more difficult stuff on it. So the idea of this, and this is just from my YouTube school I've gone through, you take 2 pieces of vinyl, put the plastic cord in between, and you sew them together, and that gives you a raised kind of bump. All right, I screwed that one up. Doesn't look good. I'm gonna add it to the pile. Try again. I screwed up another one. See, I'm having trouble sewing a straight line next to this piping in here. Okay, this one looks a little better, I think. Yeah, I sewed in a straight line that time at least, so we'll try that. Okay, so now I'm sewing the pink vinyl for the top of the seat to this piping contraption that we made. Let's see what it looks like after I'm done. Made it to the end. That didn't look too bad. Doesn't look too bad, right? Oh yeah, I got a little, oh no. Got a little bulge there. I don't know if I can fix that or not. Let me get you in there. I don't think I'm tearing it apart to fix that. Here we go. Moment of truth. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that might not look too bad. Well, I ran into an issue with the handlebars here. It looks like someone cut the ends off to make some different grips fit. So now I got these brand new standard size Seadoo grips, and they won't fit, they're too long.
I'm never coming back. They couldn't cry, and I believe him. Well, he never meant to do anything wrong. It's gonna get worse if it waits too long. Really, did you lose my number?
These fit together pretty good. Okay, fitment test. Oh yeah. Woo. There we go. Okay. Oh yeah, it doesn't move at all. All right. We done good, guys. We done good. Well, I just lost an hour. I had to pull the engine back out so I could work on it because 2 of the motor mounts were stripped out. So I've had to re-tap them over here back to metric 8 by 1.8 2.5, I think it is. I really should have made sure those motor mounts threaded before I put them in the ski, since they were just cheap ones off Amazon, but it gave me a chance to check and notice that I had the oil lines hooked up backwards. I had these flipped, and so this would have ran dry of oil as soon as we started it. It probably would have seized up here in the shop. So I was kind of running on autopilot since I've done this so many times, and apparently my autopilot is defective. I think I need to take a break. All right, boys, this is it. What is y'all's prediction? So here's what we're gonna do. I've got the battery hooked up. I know it turns over, so that's step one. We're gonna turn the fuel tank to reserve. I've got it marked with an R. So this fuel tank has 2 hoses that go down into it. Reserve is the very bottom of the tank, and there's about that much fuel that you can get out of it when you're on reserve. So we're gonna make the fuel pump work as hard as it can. The fuel filter here is empty because this is all brand new. Okay, so what it's gonna have to do, it's gonna have to prime from a low fuel tank all the way through the fuel system, fill up this fuel filter, make it to the carb. We'll have the choke on, okay? But I don't want to cheat and spray carb cleaner in here. I want it to work and make the fuel pump through on its own. All right, let's do it. Okay, no water is gonna be hooked up, because if it actually runs, I'm not gonna run it forever. And we'll see if the old battery can hold up, because I know this is gonna take a minute to prime. Here we go. Fire in the hole. Okay, I'm gonna let the starter rest for a second. I don't want to blow it up. Do you think we're getting fuel back to the filter? I wish it was easy to see. Let's just unscrew it and check. Bone dry. All right, so it's not priming yet. Should we cheat and carb cleaner it a little bit? What an idiot. Let me show you what I did. Remember earlier I was talking about, what the hell is that? Oh, okay, that's all the pink antifreeze that I put in the muffler and whatnot over winter. So, okay, that's good. I got the fuel line and the pulse line hooked up backwards. So, yeah, let me fix that. Let me fix that. We'll try again. Now that that's hooked up right, let's see if it'll prime on its own. Whoa. Getting something. Getting something. Sounds good. It's running good. Oh, the 2-stroke smoke. It's been so long since I smelled it. You know, it's a shame they banned 2-stroke jet skis back in the day. Something about emissions. No clue what they would have been talking about. But either way, I think the Pink Punisher jet ski is restored as far as I'm concerned. It took us a couple days and a couple $100s, but I think the outside looks a lot better. I learned to sew, so that's pretty cool. The engine seems like it's running pretty good, but really, we've got to get this thing out on the lake and find out how it does on the water. So we're gonna have an adventure next time. You guys subscribe if you want to see what happens with that. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. As always, I'll see y'all next time.
believe.